Good morning, one and all for the class. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is chapter number 8, Animations in Flash. In class 6, you must have learned about how to create a basic animation. You also learned that a Flash movie consists of frames, which are the basic units of a Flash movie. We enter the content for each frame, after which Flash displays the frames in a series to play the movie. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the timeline and layers, animations with motions, and shape twinning. Using a masking layer, animation using a motion guide, applying filters, applying timeline effects, and working with sounds. The timeline layers. The timeline window helps us to organize the contents of a Flash document. It also contains layers for organizing the contents on the stage. Figure 8.1 shows how the main elements of the timeline. The timeline shows frames as a series of rectangles in each layer. Every fifth frame has the frame number. Frames with black dots are called as keyframes. The light red rectangle in the header with the red frame and vertical red line below it indicates the playhead. This is the frame currently on the stage. The frame rate shows the number of frames per second the animation will play. To insert a key or a keyframe, click on the rectangular placeholder where you want to insert a frame or a keyframe. Select Insert Timeline and then select Frame. Understanding layers. You can think of layers as transparent sheets stacked one on top of the other. You can rearrange the order of the layers to set the order of objects in the movie. You can decide which object should appear in the top and which object should appear in the lower layer. You can draw, edit, and animate the objects in one layer without affecting the objects to another layer. Each new movie contains a single layer by default, but you can also add as many as layers as you want. The timeline displays layers as rows. It provides options to insert, lock, unlock, hide, unhide a layer. To select a layer, click on the layer name. Inserting a layer, insert timeline layer. Renaming a layer. To rename a layer, double click the layer name and type a new name. Changing the order of layers. When images on different layers overlap, objects in higher layers appear in front of the objects in layers below them. To change the order of the layers, click the name of the layer you want to move and drag it to the required position. Deleting a layer. When you delete a layer, you also delete all the objects on the layer. To delete a layer, click the name of the layer and click the delete layer button at the bottom of the timeline. Animation with motion, twinning and shape twinning. In class 6, we have also seen how to create motion twinning and the shape twinning animations separately. The example will we will take up now will create an animation that includes both motion twinning and the shape twinning. Create a new Flash document. Rename the layer. Click frame 1. Select the oval. Set the fill color and then draw a circle. In the property inspector, change the inner radius. Select the start angle and the end angle so that the shape looks as shown in the figure. Select frame so in the timeline and insert a keyframe by selecting insert timeline keyframe. Change the color and shape of the circle as shown. Select any frame between 1 to 50. In the property inspector, select the shape under the tween options. Add a new layer by clicking insert layer at the bottom of the timeline. Rename this new layer and give it the new name ball. Click frame 1 of the ball layer and then draw the circle using the oval tool at the position shown. Double click in the circle to select the outline and the fill. To group this object, select Modify Group. Select frame 50 of the ball layer and insert a keyframe by selecting Insert Timeline Keyframe. With frame 50 of the ball layer still selected, change the position of the ball. Create a motion in the ball layer. Select any frame between frame 1 and frame 50 in the property inspector. Click the drop down menu arrow of the twin option and select the motion. Save the movie. Play the movie by pressing enter or selecting control play. Using the onion skin feature. The onion skin feature also allows you to see the relative position of the object over several frames. Turn on the onion skin feature by clicking the onion skin button at the bottom of the timeline window. You can control the number of the frames by dragging the start onion skin and end onion skin markers in the timeline. Using a masking layer, you can create a special animation effects with the mask layer feature. You can think of a mask layer as a curtain with a hole in it. The curtain hides the layer behind it, except for the little bit you see through the hole. Some of the examples about this feature we will learn. To create a new Flash document, select Modify Document to display the document properties dialog box and change the background color to black. Select the layer and give the name. Select the text tool and choose your desired font, size, color, etc. in the property inspector. Click Insert Layer at the bottom of the timeline to insert a new layer and then rename it. Click of frame 1 of the new mask layer. Use a oval tool to draw the white colored oval that is bigger than the height of the text. Select the smile layer. Click on the frame and then press F6 to insert a keyframe. Select the mask layer, click frame 50 and press F6 to insert a keyframe. With the mask layer selected, drag the oval symbol to the far end of the text. Create a motion twin in the mask layer with the mask layer selected. Click any frame between the frames 1 to 15 and then choose motion in the twin option of the property inspector. To convert the layer named mask into the flash mask layer, right click the layer name and then select the mask option in the context menu. This locks the mask and smile layers together. The mask layers hide most of the smile layer. And notice the change in the layer icons. Save the file and play the movie. You will notice that the oval moves across the screen. The text behind it becomes visible, and the oval in the mask layer acts like a hole in a curtain. Thank you. We will end our class here.